The invitation is 2 chairs, same height. If you don't have the 2 chairs, it's okay. We can work with one. We're going to start seated. Scoot up forward to the middle or the edge of the chair. Nice long spine. And we're going to breathe in healing today for our friend Kay Buckmaster, who had an unexpected hip replacement last week or the week before. And so she, who is a regular here, is not joining us. And so each time we breathe today, let's just imagine healing energy flowing to her for a recovery that is effective and quick. We breathe now, softening the jaw, settling into the sits bones, feeling the feet on the floor. And we notice our breath as it moves in and out of our body. We let go of everything that we possibly can, our to-do lists, our engagement with the world outside of us. And once again, make space, time, and appreciation for the world that is within us. We open our arms wide now and we bring our hands to heart center. Interlace the fingers, flip the hands, press away, rounding the back. Draw the belly toward the spine here. And then on the next in-breath, the arms float above the head or to shoulder height if going above the head is not available. Press away. Then release the hands, and they're coming behind us now. We're going to interlace the hands behind us, around the sacrum, lift the heart, maybe a slight look upward. Breathe here. Then release the hands back to heart center. Interlace the fingers, press away, round the spine. Arms come up, shoulder height, or maybe above the head. Press here. Release the hands, come behind the back. Interlace the fingers, lift the heart. Hands come back to heart center. Interlace the fingers, press away. Arms float up. And down. Interlacing the fingers. This time we keep the hands at our sacrum as we tip to the right and look to the left. On the inhale, come back to center. On the exhale, we bend to the right or left and look to the right. Breathe in, back to center. And the exhale, to the right and look to the left. Inhale, center. And we go to the left and look to the right. Breathe in. One more time on each side. Back to center. Hands float back to the heart. Interlace the fingers, press forward. And then we come vertical and release the hands back to neutral. And here we are. Breathe in. Hello, Kay. And breathe out. One more breath in and out. We're going to bring our attention to our right leg, and we're going to bring that ankle up above the knee. Hold on to the heel, hold on to the knee. Lift the heart and hinge forward. Any amount, just a small amount to start with. Breathe in to come back up. Breathe out to hinge. This is seated pigeon. Breathe in. You can also do this on your back. Breathe out. Breathe in. And this time when we breathe out, we're going to pause and hold here. 3 breaths. And then slide that right hand under the knee. And we're going to circle the hip joint, holding on to the bottom of the foot if that's possible, or the ankle. Switch directions. Release to the floor. Pause with breath for a moment. Then interlace the fingers, press forward, and then come back. Switching legs now. We're going to draw that left foot up, holding the sole of the foot and holding the knee. Hinging forward on the out breath. Breathe in and out, hinging each time you breathe out. One more time. And we're going to hold for a 3 breath cycle in the hinge. Join me here. And then coming back up, holding the foot or the ankle and behind the knee, or maybe on the kneecap, 3 circles in one direction. And then 3 circles in the other direction. Coming back to center. Interlace those fingers, press away. There's a nice hinge forward here. So make the back nice and long as we press forward. And then releasing the hands, we come back and we find our breath. Making our way to standing now. Come on up. Take the feet wide. maybe as wide as the mat. Press the pelvis forward. Now press the left side of the pelvis to the right, toward the right, little twist here. Then we come back to center, switch sides. The right side of the pelvis comes forward, little twist here. Come back to center, bring the feet underneath the sits bones, sweep the arms up and fold just to the shins. Sweep the arms up, hands come to heart center, and we'll practice Padabandha. So we're going to lift our toes. Now notice when you lift the toes, how the muscles of the quadriceps or the thighs engage. Now we're going to release the toes and we're going to dig them into the mat. That's going to activate glutes and hamstrings. So we're going to go back and forth here, lifting the toes, engaging the quadriceps. We'll come back to why that's important in a minute. And rocking forward, digging the toes in, back and forth a couple more times. And pause. Now we're going to flip the foot over and the top of, let's do this. Take a step forward with your left foot. Turn the toes backward. Bend the front knee slightly. We're waking up the front of the ankle. Breathe here. Release. Switch sides. So we're going to step back now with that left foot, little bend in the right knee. Toes are pointing backward. We're opening the front of the ankle here. Since we're going to do Warrior 3, we want to have our feet fully online. So we're doing a little bit of work to get our feet engaged. And then we come back to center. Pause here. And now shift the weight to the left foot and see if an adjustment can be made so that the whole foot is engaged. So sometimes when we shift to one side, the weight will go to the outer edge of the foot. See if we can meet the inner edge of the foot as well as the heels. And then maybe lift the toes to get the quadricep engaged. And then relax, release, soften, moving now this way. Here we go to the right side. Shift the weight, then bring the weight squarely onto the foot. So now, lighter weight on the left foot, more weight on the right foot. Lift the toes on the right foot. And then relax, back to center. Shake it out. So when we're doing Warrior 3, we're going to bring 2 chairs into play. If you only have one, then you'll use the back of the chair. There was something psychological for me about having 2 chairs that made this much more pleasurable as a practice. Make sure that the rungs of the chair, at least 2 of them, are on the mat so that there's no slippage. So we're going to step up and let's start with our right foot. So we feel our way into the right foot and we're anchoring all 4 corners of the foot. We're going to do a little weight shift to the right. Soften the knee. If your knee's crabby, just a little bit of a softness in the knee, but see if we can activate the quadriceps. Bringing the hands to the chairs, the back of the chair, we're going to begin to elevate the left foot. We come on up, maybe hip height, maybe not, but because we're supported with the chair, maybe we can do a little bit more. Now point the toe, then flex the foot. Make sure that the quadricep in the standing leg is working as we go back and forth with the foot. Breathe here. And then bend the standing leg a little more deeply and bring that foot back to the floor. Come on up, find mountain, and notice the difference between the right and the left side of the body. Let's take it now to the left standing leg. So we find the four corners of the feet and we anchor there. We activate the quadricep muscles. Maybe a soft bend in the knee, especially if the knee's crabby, like mine. We're coming forward and we're going to lift that right leg. Now see if we can keep the hips kind of parallel to the floor. So instead of opening up, we're keeping the hips parallel, like we were just standing on one leg. Oh, wait, we are. Okay, check the foot, check the quadriceps, the thigh muscles. Now draw the belly in and up. Breathe here. And then slowly bend the standing leg, bring the other foot to the mat, sweep both arms up. We're going to fold just to the shins. Sweeping up. And we come back to our mountain. So there's one more element that we can add, and that's the arms. So when we're extending into our posture with the left leg back, we can extend the right arm, or if everything feels strong, we can do both arms, finding our balance. Today, I'm going to invite you to explore just lifting the opposite arm. And maybe it just comes off of the chair a little bit, and maybe the foot doesn't go so high. But we're going to start with the right leg. So we're exploring this posture. Here we are. Hands come to the back of the chair. Activate the foot, the quadriceps, maybe a soft bend in the knee, and we begin to lift that left foot. This time, let the toes point. And now see what it's like to just extend the right arm, thumb to the sky, and feel if you can notice the cross connection between the shoulder and the left hip, the X. Breathe here. Draw that belly up and in. It really helps. And back. Soft knees. Come to standing. We're going to take this now to stand on the left leg, engage the foot, engage the quadriceps, take that hinge forward as we lift the right foot. Soft bend in the knee as needed. with unhappy knees or talkative, let's call them talkative. This time it's the right leg is up, that the toes are long on the right foot, stretched out, thumb to sky if you've lifted. The arm, and then a soft bend in the knee as we come back. And we're going to sweep up. And fold to the shins. Sweep up on the in-breath. And pause in mountain. Feel the energy in the feet. Perhaps noticing the posture may have lifted just a little bit with that action. Something about going cross body really helps the body remember the connections. We're just going to hang out in mountain for a couple more breaths. And now sliding the hands down the legs. We're going to come either right above the knees or right below the knees. And we're going to bend the left leg, press the right side of the pelvis back. Maybe looking over the right arm. I'm seeing sunshine and green grass. One more breath here. Head comes back to center. Legs come back to relatively straight. Switch sides. Now we're bending the right leg, pressing the left hip back. And then we come back to center. Walk the hands up slowly as we hinge up. Now bringing the hands behind, we're going to do our psoas stretch again. So we press forward with the right hip and the left hip goes back and we look over the left shoulder. Come back to center. And now we switch sides. Pressing one side of the pelvis forward and the other rests as we look over the shoulder. And then we come back to center and we're going to press our pelvis forward. One more breath. We come back up, shake it out. And we find our mountain. So just tune in and see what you notice standing in mountain. Maybe the heart feels more lifted. Maybe the body feels a little more balanced. Maybe the arms hang a little more easily. And maybe the jaw is a little softer. Let's take ourselves back to seated as we bring our practice for today to a close. We gently find our breath once again, bringing healing thoughts into each breath for our friend, for our friends, for our families, for the world, and for ourselves. Each breath filled with the miracle of light. Each breath filled with light and strength. Each breath filled Today is one of my favorite poems for spring, well, or for all year round, but today it's spring. Zenki Shibayama. Silently a flower blooms. Silently a flower blooms. In silence it falls away. Yet here, now, at this place, the world of flow, the whole of the world is blooming. This is the talk of the flower, the truth of the blossom. The glory of eternal life is fully shining here. We're opening our arms wide to gather all the blessings that already exist, and we draw them in appreciation and gratitude into our hearts. And together, we all say, Namaste.